morning, good afternoon, good evening. Tonight, I would like to talk about the issue of Vision 2030. Just to remind some who are not familiar with it, this Vision 2030 is a claim by Mnangagwa that he will turn Zimbabwe around economically from the poor country that we are to become an upper middle income nation by 2030. To put it into monetary terms, our GDP per capita at present is about 2,000 US dollars. And to become an upper middle income nation, we have to increase our per capita income to that of Botswana or South Africa. We have a per capita income of 8,000 and 6,000 respectively. For the record, Zimbabwe had a per capita income of 6,000 in 1980 when we gained our independence. So Zimbabwe, the last 45 years, has been following a steady decline in terms of its wealth. We started as an upper middle income nation, and now we are considered to be one of the poor nations. And what Mnangagwa is saying is by 2030, you will have turned the country's economy around, increased the per capita income of the nation by from 2,000 to 6,000, threefold. Here is one of his, the party spokesperson actually, Chris Mnangagwa, justifying the so-called ED 2030. The party's argument is that it is only Mnangagwa who can deliver this steady economic growth of increasing the country's income from 2,000 to 6,000 GDP per capita. Here is Mnangagwa justifying that.
Is Emmerson Mnangagwa telling the world that he had nothing to do with Gugurahundi atrocities?
He has reached out to those who were affected.
He has not done that. That is a lie. First of all, I was in the leadership with him during the...
My apologies. That is Professor Jonathan Moyo talking about something else. The tape I really wanted is this one here.
Now, therefore, be it resolved by the delegates to the ZANU-PF 22nd National People's Conference as follows. State of the party. On the state of the party, that whereas the 21st National People's Conference of ZANU-PF held on 26 October 2024 in Bulawayo resolved as follows. In recognition of the extensive developmental milestones and the significant socio-economic progress achieved under the leadership of the President and First Secretary of ZANU-PF, His Excellency Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, it is resolved that his term of office as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe be extended beyond 2028 to 2030. The party
In other words, Mnangagwa stay in office is being extended beyond the constitutionally stated term limits because of the economic developments that he has achieved. This is just nonsense. What economic achievements have he achieved? The truth of the matter is, Zimbabwe's economy is in serious trouble. The country is finding itself in a situation where corruption, bad as it was during Mugabe's time, has become a lot worse under Mnangagwa. What Mnangagwa is doing is taking full advantage of Zimbabwe's rich wealth and is spending it as if there's no tomorrow. Zimbabwe's case is one of bad leadership. That cannot be disputed. What can achieve economic recovery is good governance. Here is Margaret Thatcher speaking on that very issue. Why some countries are rich when others are poor.
Countries are not rich in proportion to their natural resources. If they were, Russia would now be the richest country in the world. Angola would be very rich, and there are many other countries that have a lot of natural resources, but they have not had an enterprise economy to develop those resources. Russia has everything: oil, gas, diamonds, platinum, gold, silver, timber, marvelous soil, but has been poor. She's also, on the second point, got very bad environment, the Aral Sea. I remember going to one communist country in about the 60s and seeing a powder coming out of a chimney of brown gas, which of course is a nitrous gas. And I was absolutely horrified. I said, well, what are you doing letting that happen? The lungs of the people must be terrible. This is acid. You can't let that go on. Tact has never been my strong point, as you know. And it is the countries that have had the wrong system, which have not created the wealth, have not cared about people. Look at the other side. Japan, no natural resources. Switzerland, no natural resources. Taiwan, no natural resources. It is the political system which enhances the enterprise of the people and gives it a framework within which to operate, which will deal with this poverty.
That lies at the heart of our problem. We have in ZANU-PF a regime that believes they have the divine right to rule the country. And what Mnangagwa has done ever since he got into power is use his position as president to loot the country's wealth as if there's no tomorrow. I've often referred to the Al Jazeera Gold Mafia documentary. For the ordinary person, we all know corruption is rampant, but we don't know how bad it is and what is going on. That documentary allows us to peep through the window to see the rot that is going on with this when we say there is corruption. In that documentary, Al Jazeera showed that Zimbabwe is generating as much as 2 billion US dollars worth of gold every year. And 80% of it is being looted. When it's being looted, it means the state has no record of it. The state has no record of who is doing the looting, how much they are getting, what they're spending the money on. Nothing. Those people do the looting, spend their money as they see fit. The nation as a whole is not benefiting anything from it. And in that documentary, Mnangagwa himself was named as number one, the godfather who allowed the looting to go on. These gold mafia people were doing it with the assurance that they have his protection. He has used part of his share of the looted wealth to then buy chicken and chips for the ordinary citizens, church members, the povos who were buzzed from one rally to another to vote for ZANU-PF. The chicken and chips, sapatina, sapatina. And this has gone on, the headmen, motorcycles, the chiefs, twin cab, trucks, and so on, went up the ladder with the members of parliament and senators getting 40,000 US dollars just before the 2023 elections. The judges, 400,000 US dollars. The deputy ministers, 250,000 US dollars. Ministers, 500,000. This money is what should be used for the commonwealth, the common good. Buying medicines for school, for hospitals, buying ambulances for hospitals, making sure that our schools have got qualified teachers, they've got the materials, all they need to teach the students. Our roads are in good order, etc., etc. But it's instead being used to buy votes and to corrupt society. That is not development. Mnangagwa will never deliver this so-called Vision 2030. Never. If anything at all, he's dragging the nation deeper and deeper into the abyss. The irony is, he stays in power until 2030, and then people realize, wait a minute, we are still as poor as we were when he got into power in 2017. What can you do? Nothing. You can't turn back the clock. And no doubt he will have his excuses why he wasn't able to achieve what he had promised. And one of the ready excuses is sanctions, drought, and God knows what else. Zimbabwe has got a wrong political system. That is the number one message I would like to send out there tonight. We have a wrong political system. We cannot pretend that it's working, because we know it's not working. ZANU-PF, ever since it got into power in 1980, ZANU-PF, Robert Mugabe and these ZANU-PF cronies have always believed that they have the divine right to rule the country. And that right, divine right, extends to the point of they must rig elections to be assured that that right is never taken away from them. And hence they've rigged elections consistently ever since. The challenge is to end this failed political system. The people of Zimbabwe should stand up and make it abundantly clear that the system we want in the country must be based on the democratic will of the people. Every Zimbabwean should have a meaningful say in the governance of the country. The right to rule must be derived from winning the majority of the votes in a free, fair, and credible election. That should be the bottom line. That should not be negotiable. And the people of Zimbabwe must make that stand if they are serious about having meaningful change in the country. The only way we can achieve that change is implementing the democratic reforms. We had the opportunity to implement those reforms during the GNU. We failed to do so. We also had the opportunity to stop ZANU-PF during elections like 2023 if we denied them legitimacy. And the only sure way of denying ZANU-PF legitimacy then was making sure that people do not participate in a flawed elections in their millions. And yet this is exactly what has been happening. Chamisa conned the people, lied to the people that he had plugged all the vote rigging loopholes. Triple C was going to win big and they should participate. And they participated in their millions, giving ZANU-PF legitimacy. We must stop that. Vision 2030 is a mirage. Mnangagwa is looting the country's wealth as if there's no tomorrow. And he's using that wealth to buy votes from the people, to corrupt all our institutions, including the opposition. Mnangagwa and this cartel have become extremely powerful. Stopping them is not going to be a walk in the park, but we can stop them. That is what is important. And in this case here, the soft belly of the beast is during elections. The ZANU-PF will rig the elections, but if we deny them legitimacy, we will have got them. The number one task before this nation between now and 2028 is to make sure that the MDC or Chamisa Chete Chete Brigade do not make the mistake of participating in a flawed 2028 election in their millions as they've done in the past, because they believed some idiotic lie from Chamisa that he can win rigged elections. I repeat, Vision 2030 as an upper middle income nation status is a mirage. Corruption has become so rampant and is dragging the nation deeper and deeper into the economic mess. The country is not able to produce anything. We had industries in 1980. Where are they now? They've all disappeared. Mnangagwa is not starting any industries at all. All this charitable work, giving people presents. Economic prosperity is not built on charity and donations. Bicycles to the war veterans. Do you seriously think that will upgrade their economic well-being? No, it won't. Mnangagwa is looting the country and dragging it deeper and deeper into the abyss. What we need to change is the political system. This political system has failed. It's not working. And we should have the courage to say so. Think about it. Thank you very much, and have a good night.